Greetings, juniors. This is your Chapter 1 test. I'm sitting here in the bowels of CHS, somewhere I cannot even mention. Numbers 1 and 2, you need to graph them on a number line. The number line is provided for you down there. Let's see here. Let me show you exactly where it's provided for you. Yes, right there is the number line. You need to order these numbers from least to greatest, or ascending order, however you want to word it. I'd make sure that you change these fractions into decimals. That would help you out quite a bit, but then change them wherever they fall on the graph, change them back into a fraction. That's usually how you'd see it on a standard test. That is how you want to do number 1 and number 2. In number 3 and number 4, you need to identify the property that is shown here. So in number 3, you got c plus negative c equals 0. Equaling 0. Wonder what property that might be. And then in number 4, take a very close look at your groupings. So you got the set G plus 2, then plus B equals G plus the set 2 plus B. We're kind of just moving these grouping symbols around, and which property in math talks about changing who you associate yourself with when you group things. That's number 3 and 4. Here in number 5, you need to evaluate this expression, 3x squared minus 1, when x equals negative 1. So you just need to plug in negative 1 in for the x, rewrite your expression, and solve. Number 6, again, is the same as number 5. You got 3t squared minus 24. You need to substitute negative 4 in for t and solve. In exercises 7 and 8, we got to use this information right here. It says you have $20 to spend on strawberries, which are sold for $3 a pint. So $3 for every pint, and you have $20 to spend. So number 7, I want you to write an expression for the amount of money you have left after purchasing n pints of strawberries. So remember, an expression is something that would be like x plus 2. Okay, there's no equal sign. All right, so you need to write something that has to do with, you've got n pints, which we're not sure about. Okay, you got to remember, you have $20 to spend. They're $3 a pint. Write an algebraic expression here. And then in number 8, you need to evaluate the expression to find out the amount of money you have left after purchasing 3 pints of strawberries. So now you take this expression that you made up here, and you're going to substitute 3 pints for it, which is basically you're just setting up something like number 6, all right? And then you're going to substitute 3 in for your variable. Okay, number 9 and 10, you need to simplify these expressions. Show all your work. Now, you're not going to get an answer. There's no equal sign here. You're just going to simplify things, so you need to remember that it looks like we got a little distributive property going on here. Same way with this one, okay? Make sure you combine like terms. Pay very close attention. For example, you can't put an x squared with a negative 2x. He doesn't have a squared up here, okay? Simplify. On number 11 and 12, you need to solve the equation now, okay? So we have an equation. All right, I like to draw those lines down there to separate. Remember, get rid of this whole number first, okay? And then take care of this fraction. And remember how to get rid of the fraction. You need to multiply by his what? Just got to flip those around, right? Same way here. Don't get confused by the fact that this is in the middle. Still want to take care of that guy first, okay? Work carefully. Number 13 and 14. These are word problems. Number 13 reads, you purchased a CD player and paid a total of $54, including 8% sales tax. So that was already included in that price. What is the price of the CD without the tax? So you need to figure out what's 8% of that and take it away. Keywords that I said, 8% of 54. So if I were setting this up, I'd say 8%, which is 0.08 of 54, is going to equal what? That'll tell you how much the tax was. Then you got to take it off the price. In number 14, the volume of a rectangular box can be found in the formula. If we want to find volume, it's length times width times height. You need to solve for L. So move the W and the H and find the length of the box. And they give you when W is 6, height is 7, and the volume is 210 cubic inches. Make sure you label your answer to in inches. Okay, 15 and 16. The first step is you want to solve this for y. The 2y equals 2 plus 4x. Solve this for y in each of these. Get y by itself. Then plug the 2 in for the x, all right, and find the value of y in each one. So first solve for y in both of these, then plug in this value of x right here. Plug it in for x and solve and see what is the value of y. 17 and 18, these are distance, rate, time problems. Right here's the formula, d equals RT. 17 says you travel on a highway at a speed of 60 miles per hour for 2.5 hours. How far did you go? That is a distance, and make sure you label it. On number 18, a ferry connects an island to the mainland. The island is 47 miles away. That's a long ferry ride, I'm not going to lie. And a one-way trip on the ferry takes 2.5 hours. What is the average speed of the ferry? So you need to find the speed, which is the rate. So you need to rework your equation and solve for r first. Then plug in the t for time and the d for the distance. And then you can see just how slow that ferry really is traveling for 47 miles. Okay, number 19 through 21, we're dealing with this information up here in this data table. You got time and temperature. Number 19 wants you to write a verbal model for the data in this temperature. So kind of set up describing what's going on. Number 20, use labels to translate the verbal model into an algebraic model. And then number 21, they want to know what's the temperature at 3 a.m. Okay, at 3 a.m. you notice that you start at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., then 11 p.m., 12 a.m., then I'd make it go 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then 3 a.m. Just extend it. Find the pattern between the time and the temperature. In number 22, you need to find the mean, the median, mode, and range for this set of data. Okay? So you should have 4 different answers for this. The mean, median, mode, and range. In number 23, you want to draw a box and whisker plot using the information that we have up here. Okay, so use these. Remember, you're going to want to order these from least to greatest. Split them in half, and then split each half in half. That'll give you your 4 points to put on the graph. Remember how to, and then connect your whiskers on each end, and then draw the box around the middle part. Okay, last question, number 24. You have a small bag of pea pods. The length of a pea pod is in millimeters are given in the data. So here's the length of the pea pods in millimeters. Make a frequency distribution data table here. Okay, so start with the interval 50 to 54, then create more intervals, and then make your tallies. How many times do we have 50 to 54, or how many times do we have this one? And then write down how many times they occurred. How many tallies did you get? Then down below, you need to make a histogram with all this information. Okay? Make sure, too, that you label your X and Y axis, and make sure you give them a unit of measure. If you have any questions, don't ask me. I don't know any answers. Have a good day.